Buongiorno YouTube, it's Trevor here, Summit or Nothing. Back in the front room, the little front room today. I've got a new bit of kit to have a look at here. It's the One Tigris Rocoboid wood stove. Alright, so it's another little wood stove. I've got here my Bushbox wood stove there. I'm just going to compare the two. I'm not going to do any cooking, this is just a first look. Your Bushbox is a little bit more expensive than the One Tigris. So it's a bit cheaper. We'll have a closer look now at the packaging. So it's come wrapped up in this One Tigris bag. It's just a Ziploc bag. You can take that out of, you don't need to keep it in there. And then it's kept in this nice little wallet. It's got the little One Tigris insignia down on the bottom. Compare it to the Bushbox, it's a little bit different in size. That might be a little bit bigger product, but the packaging is certainly different. A little bit larger. Down here I've got my trusty scales. So what I'm going to do, weigh them both individually. This is the Bushbox. The Bushbox weighs in at 480 grams. The One Tigris, not sure how I can attach it. Where there's a will, there's a way. It's always my first port of call is weighing. The One Tigris comes in at 550 grams. So ever so slightly heavier, but is it a good budget alternative to the Bushbox? Now, you've seen me cook on the Bushbox. I'm not going to be doing any cooking today, but you should be able to get a gist of the idea from when we put these things up. Now, the Bushbox obviously is a decent bit of kit. You open it up like that, and it all folds into place, snaps into place, and then you put these over the top there and you've got your cooking area. There you go, that took me seconds to put that together, and there it is. The One Tigris now, I know it's not a fold out, so it is going to take some constructing, but not to let that put you off, because once you're up on the hill you are going to have all the time in the world when you're especially during the winter. Not that you should have these open fires on Dartmoor, but you can use them to house your Trangia stoves in, to keep them up off the ground and protected, but I wouldn't recommend using these as wood burners up on like Dartmoor or in the national parks. So it comes, it's a cool little design. If you have a look at the front of that, it almost looks like a pumpkin face, doesn't it? One Tigris in there, it's looking decent. And then your little window to pump your fuel in, I should think. So that's obviously the front. Then there's, I take it, two sides, because they're identical and all the slots pointing up. And a back piece with the slots pointing down. And then if you look at the bottom and the grill, the grate, I suppose you'd call it, they have 3 points, slots there, but nothing on there, so I'd imagine that goes to the front. So I'd say that to start with, we want to piece together the back and the sides. So we get the back piece, slot that there, like that, easy peasy. Then the side, like that. Now we get the grate would go in the middle. The bottom piece would go obviously to the bottom. Line up all the holes. And now we put the face on. There. So that wasn't too bad, to be honest. Now if we have a look, it's slightly bigger than the Bushbox. But saying that, the grate is a lot more higher up. Oh, I see. Sorry, ignore me. I've noticed there's a slot right at the bottom there as well. So at present, I've set the grate up here, but I think the grate wants to come to this piece, and the bottom tray would go in there. So let's have another look at that. Take the front out. Simply put that right down to the bottom. Yeah. The grate here. And slide that lid over the front. Slide the front on. There you go. So yeah, it's a bigger size. So that's where your extra weight comes in. And then these you can attach across there. Stick your pots and pans on there like that. So there's the two stoves. This one, it feels okay, it feels fairly solid, robust. Now it's together. You can easily put a pot on there. You can put your stove, your fuel in through the front. And I mean, you've got a bigger window than you have on the Bushbox, and a bigger stove. You can get a bigger Bushbox and you can get smaller sizes. Well, I think as the One Tigris, I think this is the size. So it's a stainless steel stove. You can use it, as I said, as a fuel stove, or I suppose if you put that grate up to where I had it set before, you could set like a fuel stove in there, like a Trangia burner. So that's good. You've got the option of where you set that, which you don't have with the Bushbox as well. I mean, the Bushbox is a great little bit of kit. I really enjoyed using it. But this, for a cheaper option, it might not fold out and put together really easy as that, but it wasn't too hard to get it together. Just know that you leave the front off and the front goes on at the end, and you should get there in no time. The metal on this is slightly thinner than on the Bushbox, so I don't know if warping would be an issue. I don't know. Let me know below in the comments if you've had any issues. So yeah, there's the two stoves, the One Tigris and the Bushbox. So yeah, I think that's a great little bit of kit. I'll put links below to both the products, all the different varieties of the Bushbox plus the One Tigris, and if you ever want to try these, I think they're great fun. So yeah, there's links below should you want to have a look yourselves.